Good morning. I appreciate you guys joining us for, I believe it's January's resident meeting. We'll get through the group and I'll kind of wrap it up at the end and hopefully answer any questions that are left or remain after the group gets through having their turn to kind of fill you in or answer your questions. Okay, so thanks for coming and we'll get started. Thanks.
The showroom. Everything on the showroom.
Here comes Kristen.
Tina.
No, Kristen.
Kristen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Milton, the Director of Sales and Marketing here at the Breakers. In the next starting last Friday for 4 weeks, during those 4 weeks, I guess is a good way to put it, we will be welcoming 8 people will start their leases in their lovely new apartments and homes at the Breakers in that time. Yeah. So you'll see lots of new faces, and I want to thank you all because they probably chose to live here after meeting you, as I always say, because you cannot know how Dave and George, and I actually should have had George come. Everybody knows George, and George has now become a sales counselor. Good. So Dave and George are sales counselors. Of course, so am I, but I'm also the director, and I place those ads on the Antique Roadshow commercials on Channel 11. So 8 new people, very exciting, and I also want to do a plug since we're at the beginning of the year. I have to verify with Donna, but we paid in resident referral credits. I mean, right off the top of my head, I can think of 4 last year. There were probably more like 6. So don't forget when you're out there, whether you're in the grocery line. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to sell that much for us. But church friends have joined us this year, friends who knew each other from exercise classes in the past, and they introduced their friend or their acquaintance, and sometimes family members, we've had that as well this past year, to the Breakers. And when they choose to move in and they stay for 90 days, we, after you've reminded me, I'm kidding, not always 90 days, because I see someone out there is thinking, yeah, 90 days until I called you. We happily give you a credit on your statement. So please be thinking about that this year. We'd love to meet many more people just like yourselves. Any questions for me? Well, good. I look forward to seeing you all about the community with your happy, smiley faces. Bye. Oh, yeah, Gail.
I do want to say how much all of your efforts and the results are appreciated in the flowers around the lobby.
Yes.
Little decorations.
Well, thank you, Gail. I appreciate that, and I love doing it. I have many great conversations while I'm doing it, but we also have to, Dave's not here because guess what? He's on a tour. But we also have to thank him. And he brings that gift to the houseplant chat with June and many of others of you. But Dave has brought some very interesting plants to the lobby. I cannot speak to them, but please ask him about them because a few of them have some very interesting stories and things about them, like the air plant. One of them doesn't even have dirt under it. So I'll leave that for you to figure out which one that is. But so I share that, Gail, that compliment. I appreciate it. I'm going to share it with Dave as well. Okay, thanks everyone.
Hello everyone, I'm Will. I'm the director.
Oh, Will, yeah. Hi.
Take the mask off.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm Will, director of plant operations.
You have to keep the microphone by your mouth.
Is that better? Hello?
No.
Okay. Okay, hello, I'm Will, Director of Plant Operations. Well, I'll just speak loud.
Right in your mouth.
Hello?
Fix
Okay.
it, you have to fix it then too.
Okay.
Mask off.
I'm Will, I'm the Director of Plant Operations. Thanks for bearing with me, okay? Okay, as far as what we've been up to, we've been preparing the building for the weather.
Yeah.
To help keep everybody warm, and also to keep these work orders down to address any needs that you may have. Outside of that, does anyone have any questions for me right offhand?
Yes, when is the swimming pool gonna reopen?
I'll touch on that.
Okay, I'm gonna pass on that one. No one
Okay.
would like to touch on that. Anything else? Go ahead, sir.
Having complained at the last meeting about the front end, we thank you that it appears to be fixed.
well.
Yay!
I have not heard knocking for about a week, and I tried it myself twice.
Okay, well, we're happy to take care of that for you. And you, miss?
Yeah, when you put in a work order, goes in, I guess. For me, they can come in by. Why, sometimes they leave a notice, they should leave it. But, you know, it would probably be helpful if August and say, I'm going to be there.
What you can do, miss? Oh, sorry, you finished?
Yeah. thank you.
Okay. What you can do, you can note on your work order that you want us to call you, or how you want us to address it, okay? If you prefer to be there, you can ask for that,
Thank you.
okay?
That's simple enough.
Uh, Right now, it's me, we have Kevin, and we have new guy Daniel. I'm pretty sure most of y'all met Daniel. And we have Julio. Answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
is on the weekend, then you only have one?
We have one maintenance guy here on the weekend.
Gotten the handicap toilet on the second floor, women's washroom fixed yet?
We are still working on that. We also working with a plumber because we're having some unique issues with that. But we're gonna try to get that taken care of as soon as possible, but we are working with the plumbers on that.
It's been at least 2 or 3 months now.
I'm aware of that, and we have to order some particular parts for it. But we'll get it taken care of as soon as we can, okay?
An issue with the wind. A little bit out, but not today. Wonder if you might be able to try to figure out something.
Sure, what's your apartment number? We can come by and take a look at it.
Just my apartment, and especially the apartments in the corner where you get a lot.
Okay. Well, if you want to put in a work order, we'll come by, we'll take a look at it, see if we can solve that issue, okay?
Okay, and another thing is, I wonder if you could let people know.
Please
how
repeat
much
the question
it
and
costs
speak
with
into the
water.
mic.
I know some things you do. But other things you charge for, and before I,
So if I'm correct, you want to know the price of certain services?
yes,
That's something that can be addressed at the front desk. But what we'll also do, I'll also talk with the front desk, and we'll make sure that we start informing our tenants of the prices for each service, okay?
Sounds such a big need.
Okay, is there anything else? All right, thank you, and have a nice afternoon.
Morning, Michelle Billing, housekeeping manager. I just wanted to kind of fill you in on what's going on with housekeeping. We are starting to make some positive changes to the housekeeping schedules. It shouldn't affect many people, but we may be changing around your date and time a little bit. We've also implemented and asked if a resident is present in the apartment to initial the schedules. That's just something new that we're trying to see if I can work that into the new changes. We also might be asking for a couple of you to update your permission to enter forms. If you've been here for quite a while, might want to change it, or just might touch base with you guys on that. And then I've been questioned by a couple residents about our pest control. So of course, anytime you see any pests or I have any pest issues, let the front desk know or myself know, and then we get to that immediately. We try to not use any what we call over-the-counter kind of products like Raid or anything like that, because when our exterminators come in, what they use what you're using the Raid, it'll counteract what they're using. So people have asked if we would take a collection for those products that you have in your apartments possibly. I'm just looking for a date to set that up where we can do an intake and dispose of those properly for everyone. That's pretty much all I have. If you have any questions, go ahead, Sherry.
When you change the dates, how are we going to be informed of that?
It'll be through a memo or I'll contact you via phone. And it won't be too many people, but if we have to make any changes, I'll work with you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Gail?
Are you gonna be able to work in carpet cleaning anytime soon?
We are gonna be the question was, are we gonna be able to work in carpet cleaning? We are, we still are doing carpet cleanings on an emergency basis, and I'm slowly trying to work on getting some of the older ones taken care of first, and then we have somebody that's in training to do carpet cleanings now, so we're slowly getting to there's probably about a handful in there right now. Go ahead, Miliana.
I have a question. They want to wash their rags. Is there where is the basement, or can they use the ones that we use?
The question was, the housekeepers are washing their rags. There is equipment available for just the employees in the basement that we have designated for them, so.
But are they to use it? Because what we're finding is we're waiting for their stuff to wash and dry, and they don't live here.
They should be doing them downstairs. I will address that with them and make sure that's something that we clarify.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Rona.
I'm
You're welcome.
concerned, then they'll go to his apartment. What does he need?
That's how housekeeping has been done pretty much everywhere, including healthcare facilities. We don't have the means or funds to have, if you want to provide your own broom, you can, but we wouldn't provide one per apartment. It's not like a disposable item.
Yeah, well, what about those blue disposable?
I'm not quite sure.
It attaches to the.
A dust mop?
Then they toss it.
Oh, like a Swiffer or something like that. We do have different mops that we are using that have been much more sufficient. And as far as like the germs are transporting them, like with the brooms, if you don't want to have a broom that's being used in another apartment, you can provide your own, and the housekeeper can use the one that is yours.
I mean, I wasn't aware of it until I went.
They're used one per unit. Anything else? All right. Have a great day.
Hello everybody, I'm Jessica Prince, dining room manager. I've been working on getting more staff in, so when you come in, you can sit, eat for the hour and 15 minutes. I try to touch tables and speak to everybody, more personal, face-to-face, and just seeing how your experience is when you're coming down there eating. I'm working really hard to get an efficient, good staff for you so you can come in, enjoy your meals, and not have to wait long times at the tables and be disappointed. Just work with me. Any questions anybody have for me?
I have a compliment for you. I think since you've started, that the dining room has improved a great deal.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for that. And keep it up, and the new people you're hiring are great.
Good. I'm glad.
So thank you.
Anybody else?
There's around that you're going to abolish designated eating.
Yes, I can. So I never said I was going to abolish the table times. What I said was just because we're short-staffed right now, I was trying to keep the same time, but don't get so stuck on a specific table, because I'll have some people come down and I'll have an open table with a server that's there and ready, but they don't want that table because that's not their table. So all I was asking is if it's okay if you guys flexible with us and come at your same time, but if I have a table that's maybe not in the same area that you had, just work with us. I'm trying to get you in and out within an hour and 15 minutes. But if you stand there and wait, you're going into a longer time frame of the next person that's coming in. Now you're sitting there at their table and they don't want to move. So it just drags it all out. But right now, we are staffed enough to open up the whole floor, the suburbs as well too. So we've been able to get everybody pretty much in their original seats and things like that. But I would appreciate it if I can't put you at your specific table, that you just work with me to help you get in and get out.
For one night.
Might be two sometimes, but just help me help you.
What did you say? Will we have 1 hour and 15 minutes? Can you, like, sometimes we have to wait. Sometimes we waited 20 to 25 minutes for our meal, and then someone would come and say, we need the table. For that, because that does happen. Doesn't happen often. It does happen, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so her question was, if the kitchen takes longer and it goes past your hour and 15 minutes, can we, be comfortable and okay with you guys sitting there? Yes, I don't mind you sitting there. And I know when the kitchen is taking longer than it should. I check on that, all throughout the night. I don't mind if it goes longer and you have to sit there just a little bit longer, but sometimes they table hug for about 2.5 hours. And I watch some people sit there and talk, and that's okay, but we have another open floor on the other side that you can go sit in front of the fire and talk if you want to stay down there longer and hang out.
And what we find a lot is all the servers are busy cleaning all the tables and everything, which is not pleasant morning.
Okay, so the question was, you don't want them to vacuum while you're eating? I wasn't really sure of the question.
Well, and then that the servers ask people while I work so that we can get out of there.
Okay.
So that, they can come and take.
Okay, I'll make sure to, when we do stand up at 2, to address that with them. As far as the vacuuming when you're eating, I can tell them to hold off a little bit longer. But if you're coming in at 5:45, they're probably getting ready to clean up, to leave, to go home. We have a schedule, and most of them, I would like for them to be out by 8. If they wait until you're done eating, done with everything, they won't be leaving out of here till like 9 almost. So I guess they'll just have to do other things and just save that for last, just so they can get out of there. But I'll make sure I address that.
Criteria do you use as far?
I try to rotate now. So I'm not trying to get anyone stuck in one station anymore. I want to rotate. I want each server to get familiar with all of you. So if I have the same server in the same section and this is your same table that you come in, you'll only know Tavon, or you only know Sean. I want you to know everybody, so I'm rotating them.
Yeah, I agree with that. It just server a majority of the time.
All right, I'll make sure they're rotating.
All right, thank you.
Last year night, I'm talking about it.
So our machine, it's been kind of like off and on, it's not getting hot enough. So that's been the problem, but we're working on that. We've been working a lot with Will. He's been coming down there trying to fix it. We're working on that.
Occasionally, some of the napkins are dirty.
The napkins, no, we wash those here downstairs in the basement. They're not sent out.
Okay, well, that should be looked at.
Okay, I'll make sure that.
Placemats,
Yeah.
that seems to be an issue continually, that you'll sit down and they're dirty. And
With the placemats, honestly, we clean them. I clean them myself, and sometimes they don't get dirty. I think it's the material. It's hard to get it completely clean.
But they wipe them off after the next person sits there.
well,
Change
still,
them.
no, I understand.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna give the mic to Christina.
Yeah.
You can always, and if with your concerns, Antonio does menu chat too, so you can always bring any extra concerns to menu chat. I'm Christina, I'm the Director of Hospitality and Resident Services. I just have a couple quick things. Next, I should say 2 weeks, February 9th, the floor meetings for floors 16 and 17. If you haven't attended a floor meeting or you missed one that was for 18 and above, please let me know and you can attend a floor meeting. Lots of stuff is discussed about what I do here in the building and some concerns that you have about things that happen on your floor are shared at those meetings. They're always helpful for me and for you, so please come to a floor meeting. Everybody below, I'm getting to you as fast as I possibly can. I probably do about 2 to 3 floor meetings a month, so I'm working my way all the way down. So we'll get there. The survey results have been received, so we're just working our way through to get those sorted out, and I will be sharing the survey comments with all of you on what has been received back. I will tell you that one of the top 10 was best things about the breakers. I'll share 2 of them. 1 is location and 2 is the residents and staff. So those were the 2 were in the top 10. So so as soon as I can get those, formatted so that I can share them with all of you, I will get those survey results out. The last thing is we're still wearing masks. You probably have heard on the news or radio or what have you that Cook County is in the low to medium range for any of the upper respiratory infections, so we're going to continue to wear masks for the time being. So we're just suggesting that when you're in closed spaces, the elevator, or anytime you're in any of the common areas, continue to wear a mask. Yes.
Can you give us a time for the next booster for COVID?
Right now, because we all received the bivalent booster, which we got at the end of September.
Right.
The bivalent booster covered this current strain that we're having, the variant that we have. So we don't need a new booster right now. From what I understand from my reading and from my phone calls with folks is that they're trying to work it into a once a year shot that we'll just get when you get your flu shot and that kind of stuff. So we won't need a new one. anytime soon at this point, so we're all good. Any other questions?
And does not protect anybody.
Yeah,
No.
when you wear a mask, you have to make sure it goes over your nose and mouth at all times. This is how you're protecting yourself and everyone else. All right, anyone else? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Donna Pennycamp. I'm the business office manager. I don't have much to report this month except that we are staffing up at the front desk. I hope you have noticed we have 2 new concierge security members on the team. Aisha, who works some afternoons and a Saturday morning, and Aaliyah, who has been very helpful in covering a variety of shifts. I am going to leave after my address because I have a 3rd new member of the concierge team starting today, and she arrived after I left to come up here, and her name is Jazanay, and she will be filling in as a per diem. Rana.
Yeah, why are the elevators used?
So Rana is asking why the staff is using elevators at 6 o'clock to deliver packages. And I appreciate you bringing this up because I understood that they were using the elevators at 6:30. So that's certainly something that we can touch on. Now, I will tell you that prior to the dinner rush hour, anywhere between 3 and 4 o'clock, I have authorized them to use the elevators to deliver. Sometimes we get very large packages that occupy so much space in the package room that we can't even move in there. So they do have permission to use and lock off the elevator for in that time frame to deliver, some of the larger and more unruly packages. Rana.
Wonderful,
Well,
glad to
we're
hear that.
still eating and And why can't they just wait till 7? It can't be that important.
I can follow up with them. One of the issues that we have is that we do have a large volume of packages, and we're trying to get them delivered so that they're not, going past 8:30 to deliver packages. That is a concern.
7 o'clock.
Your concern. Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Have a good rest of you. Oh, okay.
You may
No, if I did use that, it's a little bit of a misnomer. I call them concierge on legs, so if I use security, no, we do not have a presence of security. They are not an enforcement position. They are report only. Yeah?
Just a question, and I don't, it's not relevant right now because of the weather, but who's in charge of picking up all the crap outside? I mean, plastic and papers and stuff.
I guess we all are stewards of that, to speak to your point. Is it someone's task specifically on our team? Not on the concierge team, but.
Don used to go outside.
Yeah, okay, Dan isn't
So-
here anymore, okay.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
I'm wondering about him.
everyone.
Hey, Molly.
My name is Molly Rodriguez. I'm the Director of Resident Programming here at the Breakers. I have a lot to talk about. I'm going to start off with the best news, which you all will be excited to hear. We have hired a full-time bus driver. Yeah. Full-time bus driver starts tomorrow. Yes. Her name is Donatilia. So she will be starting tomorrow. You will see her shadowing Jim, Shantae, myself. She'll be around the community, so just be nice and welcome her to the Breakers. She will be doing some onboarding for a little bit. We hope to be back to our normal, regular Monday to Friday schedule in March. So we're giving some time to onboard. During that time, we have an opera trip we're going to tomorrow, and then at the end of the month on February 23rd, we'll be going to the CSO open rehearsal. And so that trip, I'm sure some of you already suspected, since we're taking 2 buses, we will have both of our drivers going. So some other stuff coming up in February, we are having 2 big themed happy hours. We're having our Valentine's happy hour, a big shindig for Mardi Gras downstairs where we'll have a band, music, good food, good drinks, good friends. Next week on Wednesday, February 8th, the Michael J. Fox Foundation will be here. They were rescheduled from before when they had a little bug going around their group, but they will be here next week. And the good news is during this time of waiting, they've made it even easier for all of you to participate in their tests that they're doing. So the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, they have a smell test. If you come to the presentation next Wednesday, you will be able to sign up right there on paper, get your smell test, and participate. It is like a flip book. You're scratching and sniffing and saying what you smell. And so if you're not able to come next week, then we would be able to help you register separately too. So.
What time?
1 o'clock next Wednesday. And even if you aren't able to participate for any reason, I invite you to come. We are going to try to get as many people as we can to participate. Our goal would be 100. So our goal is 100. We're a community of about 380, so I think we can do it. Okay, we are also having a Super Bowl. Of course, it's February 12th this year. We have beer club at the end of the month. And we are also on February 22nd, we are having a Meet a New Friend mocktail party. So we're going to be having mocktails. I invite you all to come out. You'll be randomly assigned a little table group to meet some new people. And so if you feel that you don't know enough people or you want to meet some new people, I invite you all to come out. Okay, any questions?
What's a mocktail?
A mocktail is like a cocktail that does not have alcohol. So we won't be serving alcohol just because we don't want it to be a happy hour where you just bring a friend. We want you to meet new people. So mocktails. Rana. Okay.
Are you still having like soft drinks and snacks and all that?
Before the election.
Okay, so I had 2 questions at once. Let me pause, Rana. Ruth, we can have soft drinks too if you'd like.
And snacks.
Yes, we will have snacks at the mocktail party. Rana asked about if we're having any candidates come out, I guess for alderman or mayor, before the election at the end of February. How it works with people wanting to come to the community is I cannot invite them. None of us on staff can invite candidates to come in. We have had 2 alderman candidates asked to come back in. And so they will be coming back in February, hosting a little meet and greet, coffee and cookies downstairs. And so if you know a candidate that you really want to come into the community, feel free to give them my number. I just cannot reach out personally asking them to come in. Sure.
Do you know the 3 offhand who asked for a return?
It's 2 right now that she asked who would be coming back in for the alderman candidates. It's Joe Dunn and Isaac
Jones.
Sure, thank you. His first name is Isaac, so 2 alderman candidates, yes. Mm-hmm.
Why are we having people come back if there's still people that probably want to come in here?
So Sherry asked, why are we having people come back that maybe there's others that still want to come in that haven't yet? They have not reached out. Anybody who reaches out, I work with Norm and Christina for them to have a time to come to our community, to meet with those that want to meet with them. I have not said no to any of the alderman candidates. We've said yes. I think we've had 3 or 4 that have come in before, and now 1 returning, which would be Joe Dunn, and 1 new one that has not come in, which is Isaac, what's his last name? Jones. So, yeah. Yes, Jones, okay. Niliana.
Tonight on WGN TV at 7, they'll have all the mayor candidates from 7 to 9:30, I believe.
Niliana was sharing, did you say WGN?
Yes.
Channel 5 WGN tonight. They will, 9, sorry. They will have all the mayoral candidates on from at 7, is that what you said? At 7 p.m. So if you want to learn more about the people running for mayor. Channel 6, oh good. 576, one of those. Give it a try. Joe.
Back particularly like Klezmer,
Let's show.
particularly that pianist was here.
So Joe asked about upcoming musical people performing in our community. One of the people mentioned was Anthony Forbes, the pianist who was here about a month ago. He is coming in April. We do have this Thursday, Matt and Cynthia coming to do, I believe it's kind of a love song theme. I forget the actual title of their performance, but that's here Thursday at 1 o'clock. We'll have a performance by Matt and Cynthia. I think they are one of the fan favorites of the Breakers, so if you haven't heard them, come on out. We have many musical performances coming up. As for the Klezmer Band, LC, they are a hotter ticket, a little bit more high price group that comes out. So we have many groups coming. I can't say for certain about the Klezmer Band, but I will say for Cinco de Mayo, 4th of July, Mardi Gras, Grandparents' Day, I'm already booking bands all the way out through the year. So we never miss a holiday. Alicia.
I heard that Dr. McComas is writing seminar. There were 50. Wonderful. Is he coming back?
Alicia asked about Paul McComas and his writer's workshop. He is going to be having it monthly. We did have 15 people with, I think I got 3 voicemails saying I want to come to the next one. I wasn't able to make it. So the writing workshop is back and going very strong. If you are interested in joining the writer's workshop, it is the 4th Friday of the month at 1 p.m.
Thank you.
Yes. Barbara.
History Month?
Barbara asked about any plans for Black History Month. Yes, we have a couple different things that we will be doing for Black History Month. We have stuff that'll be on our TV channel. We have a series that we will be showing and a presentation that we will be putting together also. Miliana, I saw your hand.
Yeah, for St. Patty's Day, do you have anything planned?
So like I said, I never miss a holiday, I promise you all. So we will be having a St. Patrick's Day party too, don't you worry. Just focusing on Mardi Gras and Valentine's first. Duana.
And don't forget Irish coffee.
Irish coffee, of course. I already have my Baileys. I think Norm is ready to come on up though, so thank you all. Take care.
Now you understand why I follow Molly. That's intentional. Before I get started on a short list I have here, and I'm going to try to give you some feedback on some of the questions you had, I wanted to introduce someone because the biggest part, I think, of our job as a management team is kind of a lot of thought and value on whoever we bring into the community and pieces that we try to add to the puzzle to then have the outcomes that we desire. A big piece of that, and it's connected to Jessica, it's connected to other people in the departments across the community, is in the recruitment side, in the hiring, in the fund that we have, employee culture committees. They plan a lot of stuff, as you guys know. They close the dining room early to go to their holiday party, or we might plan a summer barbecue for the staff. So there are a lot of pieces and a lot of components to this job, but it's a big, big job because they have their hands in on who we bring on board, from server to other managers to the recruitment efforts. And if you watch TV and you know, recruitment's a challenge. It's a challenge. So she'll be really diving deep into that and working hand in hand. We were actually teasing them here that her and Jessica will become BFFs. They're gonna be best friends. I don't know if forever or not, but they'll be best friends. But it's a pleasure, and she'll share a little bit about her. You'll see a slide and some other things on the TV, but she just joined. So she'll share a little bit, and I'll let her speak, but it's Avery.
Hello. Hello. I'm Avery. Today's my second day, so so forgive me if you ask me a question about where something is. I probably don't know yet. But I'm really excited to be joining the team, and most of my job is focused on the team, but I definitely am very interested in getting to know all of you. And if you see me and you have any compliments or complaints about any team members, anything like that, anything I can pass on to Norm, you can definitely reach out and let me know. We especially love the compliments on the team members, because sometimes I've worked in customer service for a long time, and sometimes the compliments are few and far between. So if anyone is really standing out to you, I'd really greatly appreciate hearing about that. But yeah, I'll try to be out in the community and getting to know everyone's names. I don't know, I just think it's awesome that everyone that has a question, the team here already knows your name, so I hope to get there too. Yes?
What is your official
My official title is HR manager, so.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I am the HR manager, so, yes. Does anyone else have a question? Yes?
You'll be hiring the new people and trying to get staff where it's hard. I understand that there's a lot of opportunities and not enough people to fill them, so.
Yes, that is a big part of what I will be doing. I know Jessica is being stretched in a lot of different directions in the dining hall. They're looking for people to fill those spots. So I will be working on recruiting efforts, on getting out to colleges and bringing in students, and on finding more full-time people that will be available year-round. Yes, I've been doing, I used to work at Panera Bread. I don't know how many of you like Panera.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so I'm very, very familiar with how to recruit and get people in those positions.
Great.
Yeah, awesome.
Good luck.
Thank you. Anything else? Great, it was lovely to meet you all.
Get a chance, do me a favor and it'll scroll through the TV, but look at the slides. Molly's gonna share some information. She left out all the cool stuff, like she's from Michigan, she loves cats, she's crafty, she plays the violin. I could keep going and going and going. And I share that because something you see for all of us is that it's the coolest part of our job, whether it's wine club, whether it's Kristen's crossword. I heard about that. I am involved in the veterans group quite a bit, so we all kind of have a group or something we do with you guys monthly, and it's definitely the best part of what we do. We all come back talking about it and sharing, and again, we heard all about the crossword group with Kristen. She was ecstatic. She was so excited when she came back. So again, we don't know what Avery or what talent she'll share, but she'll share one of the many with you guys, and that's how you'll get to hopefully get to know her a little bit better, since she's on the employee side more than not. I'll go down this list real quick. I appreciate you acknowledging the 24th floor laundry equipment, because the manufacturer was contacted. All that equipment was new. So we just had to wait on what they call the warranty call. And they came out under the warranty, and I share the other one because some of you that used the 7th floor, they needed to order a board, I guess they call it a circuit board for the 7th floor machine. At no cost under the warranty, so that one, we're gonna follow up with them. They were here on the 16th. But yes, they looked at all the equipment, they went through it, and we just have one left. That's the one on the 7th floor they're coming back for. The other one is we just had a phone call on the common area repairs, I guess I should say, from the flood that we had. It took a minute, and it's a process. It turned into quite an extensive process. Today, there are some contractors in the building working on the fire panel, and the last couple of weeks, they've worked really hard on getting the residents on, 2 residents on the 4th floor, getting them back to their apartment. They'll be moving back in next Monday. There was quite a bit of work, especially considering that's where the problem started with that plumbing pipe there in that HVAC unit. So getting the residents back next Monday, and the contractor for the pool, the bathrooms, and quite a bit of damage on the 3rd floor. They're waiting on the ceiling tile and the materials. I'll follow up with them on another email. I haven't heard back. But the drywall repairs and everything that's going on in the theater, the hallway to the garage, the fitness center wall on the back, that's more drywall and construction work without the pool and the bathrooms. That's gonna follow as of next week. When they're done with the apartments, get the residents back, they're going into the common areas to finish all the common area repairs, and then the pool and everything else revolves around their construction company, a bigger company. They have to get scaffolding, which is the equipment to go over the pool and work on the ceilings involved, and quite a bit of materials. So that's the schedule for that. Speaking of schedules, we were also on a call. Haven't had many residents ask, but the call was about the hallway, continuing of the hallway. We got a date of the 3rd or 4th week of February, which is 3 weeks away. So 3 to 4 weeks from now, we're gonna start going through that hallway process to get the hallways updated. We didn't make a determination on what floor to start at. 17, 16, 15, 14, and 12 are done. So we'll let you know, we'll communicate when that will start, as the residents have to know as the doors need to be painted, and there will be quite a bit of construction going on for a couple of weeks on those 5 floors that are chosen next, and then we'll continue from there. That's the construction in the hallways. I'm gonna touch on something else I have here. Koku's been talking to me because there was a change in their software system. And if you park in the garage, he's having a hard time. And I know it's difficult, so he's been setting up a station to assist. Please see Koku if you park in the garage and haven't enrolled in the new financial, I guess you can say, software system and app. If you had it coming out of your checking account, you were using a credit card to pay for the garage, you have to re-enroll in the software system that Last Parking now has. So if you're a monthly parker, please see Koku, call him. He'll come see you personally, one individual at a time, he said, if he has to. But he's been setting up a table downstairs to try to help some folks get online. So if you need help with that, please call Koku. We'll share his phone number. It's on the memo that went out. The other one is Concierge Home Care. Omar is no longer with us. There have been some questions, and I'm going to be meeting with some families that just want to know, what are we doing to support that cause? We keep talking to them. I meet with Katya, and I meet with their ownership, and we've had some calls about it. It's kind of like we're not at liberty to share with you why someone is no longer with us. There are a lot of things behind the scenes that, contribute to the whole story and whole picture that we're not aware of. Just like I can't share them with you. It would be somewhat inappropriate sometimes. Concierge Home Care is a separate entity. I know enough. I make sure that if they're seeing someone at our community or providing services, that things don't fall through the cracks, that we make sure that our residents are getting what they need. But at the end of the day, I only have so much information also. I'm sure there's more to it. My one challenge, and like all of you, is consistency. Consistency. And that's going to be my request of them. No one lasts forever, but we've had a few different managers at Concierge Home Care. And that's a challenge when you keep switching people out. You get used to someone, you switch someone out. it makes it much more difficult to build that relationship and without the consistency in folks. So I'm gonna be today, I think it's today or tomorrow, talking to them again about this and what their process is. I don't dictate the process, I don't choose their candidates. We just kind of share what our expectations are, what we want, and what we're looking for in someone that joins their team to provide you with services. And again, the conversation for me will revolve around longevity. What are we gonna do to try to focus on keeping someone in place for a little while? That's what's happening with Concierge Home Care, since a few of you have asked, called the office asking what's going on. That's what's going on right now. The last thing on here is mask. The mask policy has come up a lot. Don't talk about politics, religion, and mask, because everyone has like a view that's all the way over there or all the way over there. I'm in the middle. I don't really care either way. You know, I'm just trying to be mindful and respectful of how people feel, especially in the elevator, because you're close. You're in close proximity, and that's a challenge when you're that close. However, we're in the low. We just checked the other day. We're in the low positivity rate for our county. It's low risk right now, and there are no mandates in place. Not for us, none whatsoever. So I just want to, reiterate that it's highly recommended, but at the end of the day, there are no mandates or no regulatory components to our community where we can mandate a family member to put on a mask. If they tell us to take a hike, we're gonna say, just please be considerate. You're around seniors, you're in the elevator. But at the end of the day, there are no mask mandates at the moment for our community. So it's highly recommended. Yes, ma'am.
Why do we have to wear masks when we're exercising? We're at least 3 feet or 4 feet from each other, and it's very hard if you're really working out.
She's asking about why would they have to wear masks when they're exercising. Tough one. You have a view and you have a perspective on both about exercise. When you're exercising, you're breathing heavier, you're probably projecting farther, etc. However, all the studies, and if you remember, all the signage and everything says 6 feet apart, stay so far apart. What I would try to do myself, and being thoughtful and considerate of other people in that room who may not be as comfortable. Okay, hold on, let me finish the whole statement. May not be as comfortable. I would agree with you that it may restrict your breathing depending on what kind of mask you have on, etc., etc., etc. One thing that Molly does, and I know she does because I've kind of had to help move chairs before, she tries to keep the chairs a certain distance apart to give you some space. I wouldn't want to wear a mask if I was exercising. And I do work out a little bit, it might not show, but a little bit, and I don't wear a mask. And I wouldn't want to because I wouldn't be able to breathe as well. However, just try to relocate yourself. Try to add a little more distance between yourself and the other folks in the room if you have to relocate, and move a little bit further out. And then, make sure that you check with someone, whether it's the person leading the exercise group or someone else, and say, are you comfortable if I just kind of scoot over here and remove my mask? If no one screams or jumps up and down, I think you'll be okay. It's just communicating, being thoughtful, and giving a little more space between yourself and other people. That would be my recommendation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
I wonder about the pickup. They're very colorful, and I think rather good. At the time, they said, oh, well, they've relocated them to more expensive things of the corporation. One person rather unkindly thought that you had sold them.
I'm gonna repeat her statement. Her concern is about the removal of the animal prints on the floors because she resides on floor 12. That discussion has come up several times. The animal prints, I think I spoke on this the last meeting, will not be returning. The artwork has been chosen by designers that work for Senior Lifestyle and kind of try to coordinate everything you see, from color schemes to even the lighting. The lighting goes back to the time period of this, paying homage to the retro time period of classic, done in a classy manner. Even the lighting is reflective of the history of this community. The artwork will not be returning, and the artwork is much more modern, and yes, it's black and white. What I will share about the artwork is that your conversations about the artwork have led to other conversations about artwork for the other floors. We will look at maybe adding some color or having, you know, some input in the artwork and how we go forward. However, the animal prints will not go back. Yes, ma'am.
I'm rather fond of the animal print on the 19th floor, and I was wondering if the people that live on that floor be able to adopt a particular picture. You're gonna remove it, fine. You're gonna remove it.
Her question is if the people
Can I
on,
bring it into my apartment?
her question is if the people on the 19th floor and the residents that reside there really like that animal print that's on the 19th floor, can they have it? I will answer that, yes, you can have it. However, we'll have to talk, because the challenge with the artwork is, it's not the artwork that costs a ton of money. What do you think is the expensive part?
The frame.
The frames, you got it. So what the conversations have entailed is that even if we recycle some, we remove some of that artwork, as you can tell throughout the community, there are opportunities for a lot of improvements. So those frames are going to be recycled. So if we can remove the print, the 19th floor, what animal is it?
Zebras, 2 zebras.
You know, you can write this one down and quote me. If you promise to never ask me about the bookcases in the library, you can have the animal print. I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. Hey, make you a deal. If you promise to not ask me about the libraries and the bookcases for at least a good 6 months, I will make sure I personally deliver that animal print to your apartment. Yeah, no, we'll make it.
Call the white part that goes around, the matting. I don't need that, and there'd be no room for the picture in my apartment if I kept that. I just get a plain little frame, maybe at the.
I'll even help you find one. I will personally deliver the zebras.
Picture.
Okay, you got a deal.
Zebras.
I have lots of witnesses, so you got a deal.
Yeah, right.
Yes, ma'am.
2 things. First of all, I understand they put ladders in the library, and I think that is very dangerous.
It's something we haven't talked about. However, in a recent resident council meeting,
Yeah, last week.
and I get to read the minutes, and it's funny, and I'm glad I do, because I read it, and sometimes I do have some thoughts about it, and then one of the items in the resident council minutes reads that individuals are having a hard time reaching the books on the upper shelf, and there may have been step stools or some type of little step ladder placed in the library for residents to reach the books on the higher shelves. You should. There is a library committee. We're not getting into that debate here.
Okay.
You're going to get the print. However, I myself, I don't want to infringe on your home and how you operate. I myself, this is me speaking, I would not want my loved one climbing on a step stool or ladder of any kind.
Right.
My father and I had debates about that. Just to change a light bulb, he risked his life. I'm like, listen, just leave it alone. Somebody will help you. It's not worth a fall. There's my take on it.
Right.
However, you have members here on that library committee, you have members here on the resident council that are all listening. I would say reach out to them immediately, and if you guys, it's the general consensus that that's not wise, that's not safe, I would make that known, and something should be put in place to either remove them or allow them. And those that are not comfortable climbing a step stool or any type of ladder should not. Ask someone for help.
Right, or get a tall person to work with
Yes,
you.
ask someone taller to help you. Please do not climb on step stools or ladders. Yes, sir.
Can I change the topic?
Yes, please.
I would like to know, housekeeping, whatever. If we request out when they'll get the job done. But how should when we put a request in, let's say they received the request?
His question is, how would we prefer to receive the communication when work orders might take 2 or 3 days? The past, I'd say, since Will joined us and we have Daniel, we've been able to make a serious dent in the work order system, in the timeliness of the work order system. And I gotta say, Julio and Daniel are great. So the numbers are, they're about 93 in the system. It depends on priority, and it depends on where that work order falls in that process. We have low, medium, high. Sometimes in a day's work, the guys will come in with a plan. They have these 17 work orders in their hand to take care of. However, if there's a leak, other things take precedence, that work order falls to the bottom of the list. If your work order is not getting taken care of after a few days, you need to personally email or reach out to Will directly. If that doesn't work, then you can email or reach out to me. But it has to be a few days. It can't be 1 day, it can't be 2, unless it's urgent. A clogged toilet is urgent. Things like that are urgent. So just, if you see that it's taking too long for your liking, it's 2-3 days, you need to reach out to Will directly. He's ultimately responsible for that, to make sure they get done timely. If that doesn't work, then you reach out to me. But my first question will be, did you reach out to the person responsible to make sure that gets done? And then from there, we'll get it done. That's guaranteed.
I guess my question is, what you're really doing is putting the burden follow up to an email that I sent. But you 2 weeks. And
when they have the number of work orders they have, that's why I'm asking you to follow up. However, the way the work order system is set up, and it's been asked of them, so we can answer your question sometimes, because the hard part is that you may call me, you may call Christina, you may call someone and ask about a work order. I can find the work order, but what I don't find on the work order are notes. And the work order system is set up in a way that their work order should, on the bottom, it'll say, I went to 10H, I need this part, it was ordered on this day. So there is a system by which they have to note that on the work order and why it's taken too long. At that point, they should be calling you and saying, look, we had to order a new this that's gonna come in on Tuesday. So that burden of communication, once it's in a process, falls on them to communicate with you and not leave you just high and dry guessing, well, what happens next?
all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And the cleanliness of it, and, you know,
His concern is the answer that Jessica gave about the dish machine temperature. I'm also concerned, and I was sitting there listening to that, and that wasn't a good answer, and I'll tell you why. A dish machine is a big, big, big piece of equipment. I know the temperature settings, all that. It has to reach 180 degrees, okay? That's how hot that dish machine gets. There's a temperature gauge on the machine. I'll tell you the whole system. What the city looks at when they come in, what we're required to do. There's a temperature gauge on that machine. That temperature gauge reading has to be taken in the morning and at the end of the night. Once the machine reaches the temperature, and they're going to use it in the morning and at the end of the night. The minute that that machine does not reach temperature, it's supposed to be reported immediately because of the sterilization. So I am unaware, have never heard once that the dish machine is not reaching temperature. So that was not a good answer. So I have that on my radar right now. As soon as we walk out of here, someone's got it on their radar to go straight to that machine. But
Check it out.
here's my answer to you. It's kind of like the dishwasher at home. And it's a nice dishwasher. Costs a lot of money. You should put the dishes in there itself, right? No. The dishwasher at home, I call them, it drives me crazy. I call them crusties. And I get asked, why do you wash the dishes before you put them in there? Because I don't trust the machine all the time. That's it. I don't know. It's a waste of water. I'm like, well, I wash them with a sponge, then I put them in there.
Yeah.
More for the hot water and the sanitizing. But even that machine, if it's lasagna, if it's certain things, cheese, it'll leave a crusty once in a blue moon on something. But which is very rare, when I empty the dishwasher, I shouldn't have told you yet, but when you empty the dishwasher and you're putting the dishes back in the drawer, that's when you're looking. That's when you're looking and you put it back. So for me, when the dining room staff is wrapping silverware, it can't be done with disregard and without the attention to detail that you're looking at it to make sure you're not wrapping something with what I call a crusty. So that would be my answer to you, but not the dish machine, not that I'm aware of, okay? So sorry. A lot of hands.
I have a question.
Yes, Miliano.
Yes, I want to know how often within the building the air ducts are cleaned.
The air ducts,
Not the little in the apartment, I mean the air ducts.
air ducts are treated and they put certain, things through the air ducts and they're sprays. However, if you see the commercials on TV, how they put something through the air ducts, that's impossible in a building this size, but they are treated to make sure that they don't grow bacteria, they don't grow mold, and they're kept free from critters, but there's no way to go through every air duct and just put something through it, but they are treated chemically.
Meaning there's chemicals and things.
Even the water that goes through the system, the boiler system is treated too. That water is treated they're called HOH is the name of the company. Yes, ma'am.
About the elevators,
Oh.
okay, en masse. Are we still gonna have it mandated that it is required on the elevators to wear your mask?
Her question is, are we still going to be mandated to wear masks on elevators? Nothing is mandated, Miss Sherry. Again, we have to be careful. If someone challenges the mask requirement, you want to be thoughtful, you want to be kind and help, guilt them into wearing a mask. But it's not mandatory. It's not mandated by the city, it's not mandated by the state, it's not mandated by any entity that we can use as leverage to mandate that forward. However, it's highly, highly recommended.
Okay. Go off the elevator if people aren't wearing masks, or I carry an extra mask.
She's sharing that she just will get off the elevator if too many people are on the elevator, and I've seen people that won't get on if it's too crowded. That again is personal choice. It's kind of like moving yourself to the side and exercise. You can do that. All right. Yes, Miss Barbara.
So, just want my.
You're funny.
Yes, Norm.
Yeah.
It was awesome, Norm.
Miss Barbara just wanted to say thank you because I filled in recently for something, which was the memorial service. I didn't know I'd be doing it, but I don't remember what happened. We all pitch in wherever, and I jumped in. Wow, now you're gonna make me, here we go again, make me emotional. No, that was it. The only thing I'll share and why Barbara's getting a kick out of it is I didn't think it would hit home as much as it did. And it made me realize in going through the process of all the names and the whole service, one, I am a person of strong faith, and two, it kind of hit home for me. It affected me a little bit because I realized again, and I have before, that when you share in someone's life and a chapter of that life is your chapter and it's our chapter, it's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal when you're sitting there telling stories about people and, you know, what do you guys talk about? You talk about us. What do we talk about? We talk about you. So we share a lot together. We share a lot of stories. And it really hit home that day. So I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I'll be happy to fill in anytime for that memorial service. Look, be safe, take care of yourself, and look forward to working on everything you just shared with us, okay? All right, God bless.
You brought up the subject of the school.
I did all right.
We were considering getting a two-step. I'm returning that. That was still dangerous. Yes.